Your character, Lieutenant McPherson, he's plunged into a dangerous and frequently illogical world. He is torn by his obsession with the ghost of Laura and by his duty of bringing in the killer. He is a victim, perhaps of bad luck or a bad decision. But events spiral out of control. So, do you understand?
No, not really.
Let me put it this way. He's a seeker, searching for whoever created this misery. Order is restored, but there is a darkness at the center that still lingers.
So I'll just hit my marks and deliver my lines?
Berheder Brothers Television Broadcasters present the Movie Parody Network, bastardizing the classics one movie at a time. Today's feature presentation is Laura What's-Her-Name.
I wonder why they didn't give her a last name.
Obsession with the ghost of Laura and by his duty of bringing in the killer.
Lieutenant McPherson choose between the woman he loves and the children who are quite nearly devoured by wolves.
I like your scarf.
Yes.
Hey, Toots. Are you Waldo Lydecker?
Lieutenant McPherson. I suppose you're here about the Laura Hunt murder.
That's right, and the alcohol. Mostly the alcohol. Beer, please.
I'll never forget the weekend Laura died. It was the hottest Sunday of my recollection.
Isn't it a little too soon to be waxing nostalgic? She's only been dead 2 days.
On Friday, Laura told me she was going to have lunch with Diane Redford. She was going to confront Diane about her affair with Laura's fiancé, Shelby Carpenter.
Over lunch. How civilized.
After which, she was ostensibly going to a country home where she was going to rethink her engagement to her fiancé, Shelby. Do you really suspect me?
Why would you use the word ostensibly if you didn't have something to hide? Was Laura in love with you?
Laura considered me the kindest, most sympathetic man in the world. I tried to become those things.
Did it work?
Well, let me demonstrate. I should be sincerely sorry to see my neighbor's children devoured by wolves.
He doesn't sound sincere to me.
I'm Anne Treadwell. You sent for me, Lieutenant McPherson?
Yes, I've just taken over the Laura Hunt case. Were you fond of your niece, Miss Treadwell?
No pleasantries before we dive right in.
Cigarette? Did you approve of Miss Hunt's upcoming marriage to Shelby Carpenter?
And I was worried that you were not going to get back to business after sidetracking yourself with the offer of a cigarette.
What was your relationship with Mr. Carpenter?
I'm very fond of Mr. Carpenter.
Everybody's fond of me, including me.
I'm not. I'll be hanged if I am.
Well, 2 out of 3 anyway. You can't possibly believe I had a motive to kill Laura. Miss Hunt and I were to be married next week.
Marriage is motive enough in this city. Do you have a key to Laura's country home?
No. But there's one in her apartment. I'll help you find it.
Honey, can we get a monkey?
Why in the world would we want a monkey?
Well, evidently they can be trained to make drinks.
The doorbell rang. She opened the door. Tommy gun blast to the face. They left a flyer for carpet cleaning. And the body was there. Did you find that key yet?
We just came in. Hey, maybe it's in this drawer over here. Why, yes, here it is.
You didn't think I would see you put it in the drawer?
Well, I guess I'm no match for you, McPherson.
You're no match for a 5-year-old. Hey, this isn't Laura's brand. Where'd this bottle of scotch come from?
Scotchland?
Hello, McPherson. Hello, Shelby, darling.
I just popped by to pay my dubious respects and to inquire as to the state of your health.
I was about to pour myself a drink, have a cigarette and another drink. Care to join me?
Getting hammered in the middle of the day. How sophisticated.
If I'm appointed administrator of this estate, I think I shall call Larry's liquidators. Let them get rid of all of this junk. Less gruesome that way.
Not quite everything, Anne. There are 2 or 3 items here that belong to me. This vase, for instance, is mine. And this clock is mine as well. And the clock holder as well.
Suppose you take the piano, too?
As a matter of fact, you know I never take what's not mine. Unless it's offered, and that's just good manners.
Just as I thought. The alcohol's taking effect. You guys are gonna have to leave so I can sleep this off.
I wish I had more time to prepare. Well, wish me luck. I'm assuming you could wish for anything other than bananas.
Highly unprofessional, Pliskin. I mean, first the jacket was on, then it was off, then it was on again. For heaven's sake, man. Take pride in your work.
I thought it was funny.
I'll bet it was giving Kenny fits. You just like to mess with him, don't you?
You're so observant. What are you, a detective? Mm-hmm. Hey, Monkey, can you really make drinks?
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing here?
Yo, Laura, what's her name? You're alive.
Who are you, Goldilocks? Why are you sleeping in my chair?
Don't you know? You've been murdered. Haven't you seen the papers?
I don't feel murdered. Is that my underwear?
Someone was murdered in this room. Do you have any idea who it was?
According to the newspapers, it was me.
I think we can safely rule out you.
Hang on, what's this? Fiancé poacher. There's only one woman trampy enough to wear this shade of scarlet. Diane Redfern. It wasn't here when I left.
Isn't it true that your fiancé, Mr. Carpenter, has a key to this apartment?
Former fiancé. I decided to get a new pair of shoes instead.
How else could Miss Redfern have gotten into your apartment? You knew she was in love with Carpenter.
Yes, of course. She told me so herself over canopies at lunch Friday, and again afterwards when we went shopping together. I also know she meant nothing to Shelby.
She was found in your dressing gown and slippers. That's hardly the attire for an impersonal chat between a man and a woman who mean nothing to each other.
Was it the eggshell-colored ensemble?
Yes, why do you ask?
She was wearing white after Labor Day, what a fool. Do you suspect me?
I suspect nobody and everybody.
That must make your job very confusing.
I'm going to have to search your country home.
Stay out of my underwear drawer.
It's okay. I'm a professional.
Yeah, he's a professional pervert.
So I told her, if you can't produce the Antichrist, then I don't know who can. Splendid work, Dylan.
Do you think so? I don't know if I held the lipstick up high enough so it'd show up on camera.
Was that really your underwear?
Yes, and I want it back.
Well, I'll get it for you as soon as Monty's done with scene 4. Oh, nice, Monkey. I love it. Does it smell funny?
Taking it down or putting it away, Carpenter? It's been fired lately.
Well, I was using it to shoot. What do you call those with the rabbits?
Do you realize the spot you're in? You took a ball of black pony in that Redfern dame to Hunt's apartment. You knew all along it was she who was murdered. Go on, Carpenter. Spill it.
I wanted to have it out with Diane once and for all, so I went to Laura's apartment. Do you mind if I hold the gun while I confess? No?
What happened next?
While we were trying on Laura's clothes, the doorbell rang. Naturally, I was frightened, so I had Diane answer the door.
Go on, you're spilling nicely.
There was a shot, and by the time I came out from under the bed, the door was closed and the murderer gone. My first instinct was to go through Diane's pockets and then call the police.
Why didn't you?
She was wearing a nightgown. There were no pockets.
I mean, why didn't you call the police?
Well, I felt I must leave myself out of it in order to keep Laura out of it.
What kind of logic is that?
That's the kind of logic a man of my character finds logical.
Why can't we have more than 4 sets? The sci-fi division has 9.
4? Are you counting the car set?
A bench and a steering wheel is hardly a set.
Well, it looks pretty real to me.
Oh, yes. I think it looks so real that I'm tempted to gas it up and drive it to Nantucket, where I'll co-write a dirty limerick with Sasquatch.
I was afraid you... I was afraid that you wouldn't think about hiding the murder weapon.
What did you promise me you wouldn't do?
I promised I wouldn't go to your country house.
And what did you do?
Well, I went to your Almost walked right into that.
We're through, Shelby.
For how long?
The longer, the better.
Good for you, Laura.
Wise up, Shelby. You know it's all over between you and Laura. You haven't lost me. Why don't we get married?
Throw in a dog I can kick and I'll consider your offer.
Let me close the deal.
any person who kicks man's best friend should be put in jail.
For kicking a beer?
McPherson suspects Shelby.
He suspects me too.
Are you as interested in McPherson as he is in you?
And I only met him last night.
How long do you intend on dragging out this courtship? He's better for you than Shelby is.
Why?
He can drive at night. You don't say no to a man like that. Shelby and I belong together because we're both weak. That's why I know he's capable of murder. He's like me. No, my dear, I didn't. But I thought about it.
Can you drive at night?
You know I can't see in the dark. I've got no cones. Or is it rods?
McPherson here. Yeah, don't worry. I told you I'd bring in the killer today. Just going to make the arrest when you called. Where's Waldo? All right, Laura, let's go.
Don't worry, Laura. Let them accuse you. We'll fight them. And if you are convicted, I'll visit you in prison every weekend. Of course, that will probably dwindle away as the years go by and you'll slowly go mad from loneliness.
It's unnerving to look up and bam, there's the monkey. Why can't the Barreto brothers hire proper extras?
Because the monkey works cheap. He can afford to. He took all my money in a poker game last night.
You got beat by a monkey? He can't even speak the king's English.
I'm not through with you, monkey. Not by a long shot.
Coming up on Camera One.
All right, Laura, let's have it.
You know I didn't kill Diane Redfern.
You've got motive, a murder weapon, no alibi, and you didn't say thank you for the flowers and candy I brought you.
It was cheap drugstore candy. What are you trying to do, Mark? You know I don't look good in hush light.
Oh, I'm sorry. There. Is that better?
Why did the card on the flowers say Happy Mother's Day? You're in a jam, Mark. Now level with me.
I'm on the level with you.
That's good enough for me. I'm going home.
But I thought I was.
That's what I wanted you to think.
Perhaps I should brush up on my interrogation strategies.
At last, the scene where they didn't make anything up.
That's the way to turn the tables on him, Laura. What's her name?
Laura, you were a long time in finding out about Shelby, but that's over now. We can be together again. Impeccable timing, McPherson.
Thought you should know we tested your revolver and it's not the murder weapon.
It's the same obvious pattern here, Laura. If McPherson wasn't muscular, handsome, and opaque, well, you'd see right through him in a second.
Waldo, I mean to be as kind about this as I know how. Piss off.
Very well. Well, I hope you'll never regret what promises to be a disgustingly earthy relationship.
All I need is the gun. Let's check the piano. Lucky guess. Have you seen this before?
I rarely look in this direction.
Waldo gave you this piano, didn't he?
Yes, but I didn't know it was for gun storage. I thought it was an instrument of some sort.
Let's recap. The doorbell rings. Diane Redford answers the door wearing your negligee. Waldo sees a girl there and he thinks it's you because the room is dark. He lets her have it, and he stores the gun in the piano.
You forgot about the flyer for carpet cleaning.
That's not important.
Not important. It's half off on 3 rooms and a hallway.
I've got to find Waldo.
I have this idea for a picture book. There's a little man and you're trying to find him somewhere in the drawing.
You gotta find something to fill the void. The monkey has his poker. Julius has his women's underwear. Monty's got a shady past. And me, I like the sauce.
You've done a wonderful job of reducing everyone's life to 5 words or less.
This is the end for you, Laura.
Waldo!
Gee, I wish I could think of something pithy to say, but I can't. And that's unusual considering that's my stock in trade, if you will.
Waldo, you've taken one life. Isn't that enough?
Oh, you'll never understand, Laura. See, it's like a hobby, really. Once you start, you just can't stop. Oh, damn, my slow reflexes. There's one thing I hate, it's losing two things I hate. It's losing and getting shot.
He introduced me to so many things. Cigarettes, alcohol, lying, arrogance, social climbing. All the skills a person needs to prosper. I'm starting to wish you hadn't shot him.
I thought this was the one that ended with Lieutenant McPherson saving the community center.
That's not a very satisfying ending. I'm going to write in a complaint.
You're scourging a deceased equine.
I'm scourging a... Those words are big and hard to understand, so I'm going to assume that you are disrespecting me.
Where's my underwear you used in scene 2?
Girl, I don't have your undies. I gave them to Julie, and he said he'd give them to you after scene 4.
Julius Caesar Montague. My underwear, please.
Until we meet again, you gorgeous handful of lace and satin.
Oh, you won't be meeting again.
Oh, we will. On that you can depend.
Count on it. Count on it, girl. You dog, you.
You still have my card?
Yeah, this is it.
Thank you.